Yeah. Oh, maybe it ain't. You see those 3 bandages? As close as I've ever come to cutting a finger off. Yep. Well, actually 3, but this truck sat in the woods for 39 years, rotting away. It's missing floorboards, rocker panels, cab corners. The bed rotted away to nothing. I drove it out of the woods. That's not the crazy part. This is going on power tour, and we got 2 months to get it ready. But wait, there's even more. I'm building a 6.0 LS, and we're going to put a 671 supercharger on top of it. My goal is for people to see this build and think, what in the world? I'm pretty sure we will accomplish that. I call it lockjaw. I'll tell you all about it here in just a minute. Let me give you the backstory real quickly on this old pile of garbage. 4 years ago, I thought, let's do a wheel it run on this thing with it sitting in the woods. Well, the motor was really stuck. I did finally get it to free up, but it never would free up enough to run. So then I thought, let's pull the motor out with it sitting in the woods, take it to the house, give it the best backyard butchery rebuild money can buy, and we'll rebuild the transmission too. Then we took it back to the woods, put it in the truck, fired it up with it sitting right there in the woods. Yes, sir. Well, then I thought, what are you going to do? Because it has no front suspension and it has no rear end. Well, I thought, let's drive a little fella out of the woods. So luckily, about 200 yards or so down in the woods, there was an old frame, had a front suspension on it. Stole that. Well, there was an old truck sitting there, had a rear end in it. Stole that, put them both under the truck, fired it up, drove a little fella out of the woods, and then, well, I'll just show you right here what I did. Yes, sir, it did a massive burnout. Then I parked it right here with the intention of one day taking it on power tour. Well, today is the day. Let me see if I can get the little feller fired up. We'll get it in the shop. We'll go to working on it. Well, it appears someone has stolen the carb. So let me get one on it. We'll fire this thing up. Let's give it a little fella a drink of the old Gascolines. We'll get in there and hit the starter. My headlights are on. My headlight switch, the knob, it's not in the switch. I don't recall what's going on there, but let's see if she'll start. Fire in the hole. Well, ain't got nothing. Oh, I know what it is. It's the neutral safety switch. Let me work on that a minute. I forgot all about that. Neutral safety switch is bypassed. Let's see if I'll fire up. I don't know what that squalling is. That's a new water pump. It's probably alternator. Put on it. We don't care. We ain't using that motor no way. Let me pump some tires up. We'll get the little fella in the shop. Well, I got tires pumped up except for the right rear. It's blown out. So we're going to just have to drive it with one flat tire. Well, it won't go in gear. Apparently we're low on transmission fluid, so let me remedy that situation. This ain't starting out real good, fellas. All right, let me see if that's enough to make it move. Okay. I don't know what made it do that, but okie dokie. What in the world? Well, poked a hole in my jug, fluid everywhere. This is not starting out good. No, sir. Let's see if it'll move. Yeah, I think we got a brake stuck though. Alright, at least we're moving. Let me shut the hood. No power steering either. Huh. Maybe it was just in a hole. Oh yeah. I don't want to scratch my paint. I can't see nothing in that windshield. Whew, I'm here to tell you, fellas, no power steering will wear you flat out. Goodness gracious. This tire being flat keeps wanting to kick me over that way. The reason I'm backing it up is we got to pull the bed. I want to use the lift to do it and just drive straight out. Let me see if I can't get this tire pumped up so we can drive it backwards. Finally got the pile of garbage in here. This is the good side, by the way. Yeah. I'll tell you what, I didn't show 90% of the struggle of getting this little fella in here. What y'all think about that tailgate, by the way? I like to rip the door off. It caught my cable there. I done straightened it out some. We'll have to fix it. Rip my trim off. Come here now, don't be falling off. We'll have to screw that back on. Anyways, I found a tick on me. I'm hot, very aggravated because this shouldn't have took this long. So I'm going in the house, take a shower, make sure I ain't got no more ticks on me. We'll pick this little fella up tomorrow and start working on it. Tis the next day and the old pile of rust, well, it's still here. Nobody broke in and stole it, so that means we gotta keep on working on it. Yep, sure do. Let me give y'all the big picture of this build before we get started on it. I already told you about the motor, 6.0 LS with a big 671 sitting on top of it. Well, let me show you the rust. Not this rust. That's pretty obvious. We have no floorboards. Rocker, well, it's here, but over there it's not. We got to fix that. Yep. Because I don't feel like Flintstoning it going down the road. I want to drop her low. So that means airbags. To do airbags back here, we got to get rid of our, what are these called? Leaf springs. And do a 4-link. We're doing a parallel 4-link in the back. Like I said, drop her low. What else? We might need windows. This windshield, it's got a couple of cracks right in here. So we're going to have to replace that. The only good windows in it, this one and that over there. And that's it. It's got to have all windows. We're going to have a 4L80E transmission. That's pretty much it. We're not changing looks, fellas. This is how she's going to Power Tour. When I told y'all the goal of this is to make people say, what in the world? I'm in it. Yep. I'm pretty sure we're going to get a few of those going down the road with it looking like this. If I do recall correctly, I got most of the electrical done. We may have to go back over that a little bit, but yeah, we got most of that done. But that's pretty much the build. Motor, 4L80 transmission, floorboard rockers, lower it with airbags, 4-link, let her roll. Oh yeah. Let us start with, since we're doing a 4-link and cab corners, this bed needs to be lifted up. I can't do that by myself. Well, I can, but I've got to build an apparatus to lift it. Well, before I lift it, or before I build the apparatus to lift it, let's just take a look at the bed. Along this side here, there's nothing holding the floor to the sides. No, watch right in this area here when I pick the side up. Yeah, it moves. Let me get a good grip on it. I don't know if y'all can see that or not, but we gotta fix that. I'm gonna weld some kind of angle iron here across there and through here, because if I pick this up, I'm afraid the floor is just gonna fall out of it, and we can't have that. So let me do that first, then we gotta raise it up and get our bolts undone from the bed. Most likely gonna have to cut them with a torch, and then we'll build us an apparatus out of these pieces of wood right here. I'm gonna cut me 4 pieces of this angle iron here, weld them on. Hopefully that's all we need, but if we need more, well, we'll cut more. Alrighty then, this blade has had it. I need to buy a new one, so we're gonna put this under the table and get my other one. All right. Well, this blade here is pretty much gone. It's about that big around, so let me change that out if I've got another one. If I don't, well, I might run to town. I gotta crawl up in there and do a little sweeping, get some of these leaves away from where we're welding, because, you know, fire and all. Plus it's got about 2.5 inches of rust and whatever. I gotta get that out of the way so we can weld. Ooh. I don't know that I'm doing any good, because right here what I'm welding to is, yeah, it's just falling through. Oh yeah, well, what am I gonna do? What about this brace that runs across? I can weld to that. I think it's pretty decent. Yep. Then this here is pretty solid too. All right, that's what we'll do. Let me get the grinder out. Give me some clean metal. Then we'll go to welding. If it falls apart, well, we'll put a flatbed on it. How about that? Well, this corner, you know, is broke free from the floor. Our body line don't match. We can't have that. So I'm gonna jack this corner up and hopefully get it, you know, somewhat matching. Approximately right there. I'm afraid I'll start bending this body line. It's close enough. Yep. So let us weld. Y'all watch for fire. There's a lot of leaves right here. I got them done. There's one more, there's one more again, and then right here on this wheel well, I put one up here and then down there, because they were just flopping all over the place. It does seem to be a lot more stable now, so I think we're gonna be okay. I don't think it'll fall apart lifting it up. We'll find out here in a little bit. We got to raise it up now, get our bed bolts loose. I think there's 4 up there and 4 back here. Undo our tail lights, then hopefully the little fella come on off. Got her in the air. I looked under it the other day, but y'all have not. So let's take the tour together and see just how bad this old truck is. Well, look at here on the floor. That's rust from, you know, the big giant cracks that are in the bed. But other than that, the frame itself is in pretty good shape. Now it's, you know, rusted, but it's mostly surface rust. Well, like right here in this area, on this bottom piece, she's a little rusted, but your strength comes from the vertical part. So I ain't too worried about that. Now, when you get on back here, she's pretty thin on that bottom part, but let me put this light down real quick. A lot of this section will be going away because we're doing a step notch. I don't think I told y'all that. Hey, we're doing a step notch, so most of this bad stuff will be cut out. And it's only on this side. This side over here's, it's in pretty good shape. You know, it ain't all eat up with rust. This cross member here, let me get the light. It's fairly rusty. We'll probably leave it, but if I, you know, get the whim, we might cut that out and put us another one in, but kind of doubt it. It is, you know, pretty rusty right in this area, but I ain't too worried about it. The bottom part. When this goes to getting holes in it, that's when you got to worry, because that's where your strength comes from. But again, we won't be hauling anything in this, so, you know, it ain't, I think it'll be okay. Yep. This side over here looks pretty doggone good. Now, the bolts, where are they at? I done sprayed them with the, what's it called? Kroilo oil. 2 here, 2 on that side. Same thing back there. And you know, they are carriage bolts. They got a round head with a square head underneath. And well, you know how rusty this bed is, so I'm pretty sure they're just gonna spin as soon as I hit them with a socket. But if they do that, I'll go get the plasma cutter and go zit, zit, and be done with that. Let me show you one more thing. This is sort of concerning. The floor on the cab, it's a lot worse than I thought. I knew it was pretty bad, but I didn't know it was way back here. And well, I can just, let me get this stable. I can move the floor pretty much, you know, however I want to. Yep. I do have drop-ins coming in. It'll replace a lot of this, but it won't replace up in here. Back here ain't too bad. But yeah, that floor is pretty bad. I don't think it's supposed to be sitting on the frame either. Something I've noticed about this truck, getting in it between the seat and the steering wheel, there's no room. I can't hardly get my legs in. It's like it's, I don't know. The cab has done something weird because of this rust. We'll have to get it back like it is. Of course, let me get the light over here on the passenger side. Well, here's, let me get the light. Come on now. Here's, well, I'm sticking my hand up through the floorboard. Yep. There's a little bit of metal and there's a mat. This brace running across here's gone. There's your body mount. Same thing, but worse over here on the driver's side. Look here, fellas. Hey, how y'all doing up here in the cab? Here's your inner, no, that's the door right there. The rocker, inner and outer rocker is just gone. Cab corner, inner and outer's pretty bad. I got inner and outer coming on that. Ooh, man, that's bad. We got a lot of metal to replace on the cab. I ain't gonna lie. But I think we can get it done. Let me go ahead and get this out of the way because I'm sure I've already got some comments. Why in the world are you fooling with that old pile of rust? You're wasting your time and money. Well, that might be true, but it's my time and my money. It's what I want to do. Well, I told y'all, this is a what in the world is he doing there type of build right now. To turn this truck into a decent truck, it's not going to take a whole lot. Well, let me just say this. The frame, suspension, motor, transmission. You're going to do this stuff to any truck anyway. So there's nothing extra. When we get that done, it will be a solid running truck. It will just look like garbage. I'm hoping when I get the cab done, it's about like Jolly Green Giant. Got it done, and the inside's not too bad now. It's still got some rust, but it's not too bad. Same thing on this one. The entire cab itself looks pretty good. Just don't look down at the floor. And there's, people have repaired this and a lot worse. So I'm not worried about that too bad. If you want to make it a decent truck, eventually get you a bed, 2 doors, 2 fenders, and hood. There you go. You can find them, pretty cheap if you shop around. So that's my thought process on something like this. If the bones are good, well, the rest of it's just, cosmetic. Anyway, let's see if we can get them bolts broken loose, get the wires loose on the tail lights, and see if we can't pick that bed up. Let me put a ratchet on one of these, just see what happens. But I'm pretty sure, we know what's going to happen. because of all the rust. But oh yeah, that ain't breaking free. Let me get me a piece of pipe to put on that feller. Goodness. Well, I forgot I got about a 2.5 foot breaker bar, so we're gonna give it the old try and see what happens. Come on now, break free. Look at here, fellers. It just broke free. All right, well, let's try this one here. Well, I gotta remove this bumper bolt first. Well, let me see what this breaker bar will do right here. Hopefully it'll break it free. Oh yeah, here we go. Well, now is this little fella here gonna break free? We're going to cut it. Come on, man. I think I just heard steel crunching up top on the bed. Oh yeah, I think so. Let me work on these little fellers. This whole truck is going to be a battle due to all this rust. Let me see about getting all these bolts broke free. Yeah, that there's spinning. Yeah, let me, I'm just going to go ahead and get the plasma cutter out and chop them off. Oh my God. Ooh, that's hot. Well, there's one down, 7 to go. Let's see if the little color will raise up. Oh yeah. Ah, that was the wrong thing to do, man. I got rust all over me. Let me get the front, and then we got to make our little apparatus. I got the front ones cut loose. I'm gonna pick up on this bed and just to make sure, you know, everything's loose. And hopefully I won't get a face full of rust like I did a minute ago. Heave ho! Oh yeah, look here, fellas. Yep, she is a loose. Well, I just got a text that said, you have pork chops waiting on you. Y'all know me, fellas. I'm a growing boy, wasting away nothing. I got to have my food. I'm going to get me some pork chops. I knew this was going to be a short day anyway. Well, we're going to cut her off right here. Yep. I've been busy doing other stuff. Anyway, tomorrow morning, we'll get this bed off, get the truck out, get the bed out, get the truck back in. We'll go to working on the rear suspension. See y'all then. Today's the next day again, and well, I got some lumber in the back of the truck. One might be wondering, what is he doing with that? Well, let me tell you what we're doing with that. Those are 2x8s. They are going to be used to lift this bed off of this truck. Here's how it's going to go. We're going to hook them underneath here. You know, they're going to be, you know, standing up like that. And we'll have two of them, two running across. And they'll have cross pieces. Like you're building a floor. They'll be on, you know, about 16-inch center. We're going to hook them underneath here. Then I got to build apparatus in the middle out here so I can hook a chain to it. We'll drive the truck out, raise our lift up, drive it back under it, use the lift to lift the bed, drive the truck back out. Then we're going to get the old 78 C10 flatbed, drive it under here, set this bed on it, drive it out of the way, drive this back in, start working on the rear suspension. Did you get all that? Well, hopefully you did. Let me get some measurements and see what we got, what we need right here. We'll go to cutting this wood. I'm just getting a measurement. This is how I'm planning on doing it. You know, we got to be under the edge on both sides. Well, we can't make it the width of the inside because we won't be able to get it in. We got to make it a little short and then scoot it that way, you know, once we get it in one side. So from the inside of that bed side to this edge here is 69. If we make it 68 3/4, we can slip it in that side, lower this, scoot it this way an inch, inch and a half, and that'll be hooked on both sides. I think that'll work. So, done forgot that number. So what was it? 68 3/4, I think. Yeah, we'll make her 68 3/4, two of them. 68 3/4 is approximately right there. Same thing on this one right here. Let this cutty cut. I'm gonna cut some braces. We'll do, said we was gonna build it like a floor. They're 16-inch centers. We'll just cut them 16 inches. Yeah, it don't have to be exact. Nope. There's one more. There's one more again. Well, I've determined where I want to put my braces, or at least on the end. 5 inches from the end. I got to get me a nail started. Yes, we are using nails. Here's why. Screws, we're worried about this here pulling apart. That's called shearing. Screws, especially like deck screws, any kind of wood screw, they don't have a lot of shear strength. They break very easily. Nails have a lot of shear strength. It's shearing, cutting, breaking off. That's what that means. Now, these don't have tensile strength, meaning this can pull off of here pretty easy compared to a screw. That's not what I'm worried about. I'm worried about the shearing part. Anyway, that's why we're using nails. Let me get one started right here. There's a one. All right, y'all get the drift on this. You don't want to see me doing nailing for the next 15 minutes. So let me get this built. And when I come back, we got to figure out our lifting hook eye thingamabob goes in the middle. I got it made, and I've been scratching my brain trying to figure out what can I hook to this so we can put a hook on it or something like that. I don't think we need to. Let's go ahead and put that in the truck, and then I don't know if I can explain this. I may just have to show you. What I want to do is raise the lift up, but I want the bottom of the lift here and not up here. If we're up here, I don't think we got enough room to pick this bed up because it's got to come up from here over that tire. So what my thinking is, go ahead and put our apparatus in and then bring the lift down to here, tight against this. Just wrap a ratchet strap around it real tight and pick her up. We don't have to worry about leveling it or balancing it that way because it'll be up against the bottom of the lift here. Let's try that. Let me pump that tire up. We got to get the little feller out, get the lift up, and then back it under it. You can't be climbing on that tailgate because, oh yeah, it's caving in right now. I got to get off of it. What in the world, man? Hopefully this goes in here approximately right there. Trying to get it, sort of centered. I'm going to say right there. And then, well, I've measured wrong or something because it ain't going to go. See if I can spread this apart, maybe. Oh, look at there, fellas. Yeah. Now, slide it about like that. We're plenty under it. It's going to do that right there and pick a little fella straight up. All right. Let me get the truck out. Don't step on the tailgate. No, sir. That is very dangerous. Let's see if this will shut, or did I really mess it up? Well, it shut. Let's bow her back straight. Oh, yeah. Like a brand new one, man. I got the tires pumped up, but I don't want to get real close, but real good chance we're going to have a blowout. Yeah, that's inner tube sticking out the sidewall. Let's get this little feller out of here. Going down. Now what I got to do is get this strap wrapped around my little apparatus we built. Uh-oh. I'm not real good and centered, but I think we'll be okay. Let's go ahead and try it. I got to get this wrapped around our apparatus some kind of way. Come out of the body. Well, these hook together just like that right there. Let's make sure my apparatus is where it needs to be and ain't about to slip out from under it. Oh yeah, I think that's all right there. Oh yeah, I done lifted the back end up. Let me get my fat self over here, or actually right up here. Ooh. Then, let's see if she'll come on up or not. Yes, but very slowly. Well, I figured out what the issue was about this not coming up easily. I knew I'd leave something hooked up. Our gas filler neck, yep. Let me undo that and I bet that'll pop up. Well, that wasn't under any pressure, so, interesting. Let me, going up slowly. Very slowly. Let me check, make sure everything's still loose, because it would be very, very easy to destroy this bed. It feels like it's a loose. Let's go on up. Going up again. Let me look at the other side, see what we got going on here. Everything looks all right. Well, I mean, you know, all right is all right can be for this pile of garbage. Our gas hose is gonna catch, so let me bend it out of the way. I don't see anything else hooked up, so I think we're good to go. Just hope I don't scratch the paint, man. Ooh, I'm scratching the paint. Hitting the cab. Let me pull the truck forward a little bit. Going up for the last time, hopefully. All right, let me drive the truck out and back the other one in. Well, we got her ready to go down, but if I set it down like this, pretty sure as flimsy as this stuff is, we'll just crush this and this. So I got to get something to set under this brace and back here somewhere to set it down on. Let me see what I can figure out real quick. Well, I think this is going to work. We're just barely going to catch them blocks there, but barely is good enough. We got plenty of room up here we're not going to hit. I'm going to let it down till this one touches. Then I got to get up top and let that strap loose and let the front down a little bit. Going down slowly. That right there. I got to get up here and let this strap down. And hope I don't fall through the bed. Hope the bed don't let go and all kind of stuff. Yep. All right, here we go. Oh yeah, she went all at once. All right. Just because MLS states that this might happen, it might fall off, we're gonna strap her down. Oh yeah. Somebody explain to me why they won't make them hooks magnetical. where they'll stay hooked to the loop. That's good enough right there, fellas. Let me get this out of here. The bed is safely tucked away. A storm is a-brewing. Here's what I want to do next, once I get the bandtree back in it. Let's drag a pressure washer out. Pressure wash everything we can see. I think it'll just help us on our welding, see how loose all that rust is. Yeah, we'll knock all that stuff out. Well, I didn't get to it before the storm rolled in. It ain't started raining yet, but the wind has picked up pretty bad. Hope this ain't a bad storm. It looks pretty bad off back that way though. Anyway, I'm gonna clean this shop up a little bit. Then when this goes by us, we'll get out here and pressure wash this thing. Let me take just a minute, tell y'all about something that's happened. I hate that I have to do this, but you remember the 78 C10 that I drove home from Talladega, Alabama last video? A subscriber by the name of Matthew sold it to me cheaply, trying to help the channel out. We appreciate that. Matthew was a medic in the Army. He did some tours over in Afghanistan. He had a buddy by the name of John Mintz that they become good friends over in Afghanistan. He was in the Army too. Well, he suddenly passed away a couple weeks ago. And Matthew wanted me to mention him just to honor his name, because the truck belonged to his family, John Mintz. He talked Matthew into buying the truck. So through him, the channel now has the truck. Really hate that it happened. Keep Matthew and his family in your prayers. Keep John Mintz family in your prayers. I believe he said he was 47 years old. Like I said, I do hate that I have to pass this on, but it's my way of honoring him. Appreciate it, John Mintz. Well, I got her pressure washed off and it cleaned up all that old loose mess. We'll still have to do some grinding where we're going to weld so we can get us a good weld. But we got to get this rear end done, fellas. I have dilly-dallied. I've been a little lazy the last few days, ain't gonna lie. We got to get this done. Like I said, we are doing the step notch. I got to do some final math to decide how tall I want it, but it's probably going to be around an 8 to 10 inch tall. I'll explain that in a minute. Let's walk through what all I've got and what we're doing. I think I told y'all, but I'm not sure. We're going with a parallel 4-link. What that means is your top and bottom bar, they're going to be parallel with each other. Instead of a triangulated system like we done on Dude and the 40 where your top bars are angled. Well, when you do the parallel like we're doing here, you got to have a Panhard bar. So Got to build one of them. And I just realized I didn't order enough parts for that, so I'll do that. Anyway, here are the ends that go into our bars. They slip in there, you weld them on, and then you got what you call a heim joint. This thing here swivels around. For suspension movement, I'll probably cut these in half. That'll be upper, lower on each side. These spacers here will go on either side of this heim joint just to give us a little more room to move around. Here's our hardware we're going to bolt everything together with. Grade 8 bolts. Oh, yeah. I found these little fellers here the other day on Amazon for shock mounts. I'm not sure we're going to use them, but they were cheap, so I thought, well, let's just get them. Well, let's come over here to our stockpile of parts right here. I believe that's air compressor. I don't remember what this is. Oh, that's our what do you call them? A valve for the air ride. There's the tank. 4 airbags right here, and then our cups and plates for the front mounts on the airbags. I don't know where it's at. Well, it may be right here. I went ahead and bought, well, let me just open these boxes and I'll show you. I bought airbag mounts. This one, I was planning on, once we do our C-notch, putting it like right here. And then that bottom mount, I was going to put on top of the axle. Well, I was going to do it right here. Well, we can't do that. Nope. Because our housing is in the way. So I don't want them to do there now. I'll have to rethink that. Yep. But hopefully we can use these. I didn't waste any money. I bought these because, well, they were $45, and I thought it's worth it to save, a couple hours cutting them out, welding them, and drilling holes and all that. Yep. Anyway, first thing I got to do is do some more measuring. Let me quickly explain to you what I'm measuring. I want to lay frame with this truck. Well, you're actually not going to be able to lay frame in the back because your gas tank hangs down below the frame and your body does. So what we're actually doing is laying body. I want the bottom of the bed laying on the ground. So I've done the math. From the stock where it was here, the bottom of the bed to the ground was, I think, about 8 inches. I've done some math, and we really only need like a 3 or 4 inch step notch, but I'm going to go probably 8, just to make sure we got plenty of room. So let me finalize my measurements. We'll get over on that giant piece of metal, draw it out and cut it out and go to welding. Well, I just checked my maths again, and I'm correct on what I was thinking. What I did is with the bed on here the other day, I measured from the bottom of the frame to the ground right here where the tire is. And then I didn't think to measure the bottom of the bed down. So I just went and measured the bed. And my math tells me from stock with these tires, from stock height, the bottom of the bed is 16 inches to the ground. And I want it on the ground. Hopefully we can achieve that with just this. Sometimes you have to body. We won't get into that. Anyway, from doing math, when this thing's lowered, 16 inches is what we need to, put that bed on the ground. Well, as you can see, we're 14 at the top of the frame, 16 right there. We need 2 inches above the frame to get this dropped on the ground. Well, you want a little more than that. And this frame is about 4.5, 5.5, 6.5. Oh, let me tell you this. This is how you measure step notch. A 10-inch step notch is 10 inches from the bottom of your frame to 10 inches to the bottom of your step notch. So we actually only need a, 6.5? Well, I'm going to go a 10 just, to give us room because I'm not sure what size tire we're going to run and all that. So we will do a 10-inch step notch is what I'm trying to tell you. Yep, so let me figure out all my dimensions. We'll get over and mark it out. Well, I got everything measured out. I'm just drawing my lines now of where to cut. Once I get that done, I will explain what's going on. All right. What I've done is I found a step notch you can buy. It's a universal type online, and I just stole the measurements from it. Let me get some of these lines out of the way so I don't cut the wrong line. When you take them lines away, here is the outer portion of our step notch. And then you'll have a piece going across the top and on the inside. Weld all that up and it'll be strong as factory. Maybe stronger, I don't know. Anyway, let me cut this out. And I will use this once I clean it up, move it over here for a pattern, and we'll go get these tacked on the truck. Let us do the cutty cut. Well, there's a one. I'm gonna set it up here and we're gonna trace it out. So I'll have a matching thing on the other side. Does that feel pretty good? Oh yeah. Go just like that right there. Just like that right there, right there. Anyway, there's our pattern for the next one. And then before we weld this one on, I'll probably make another pattern for the inner parts. We'll get to that in a minute, but let's go put this on the truck real quick, see what it looks like. Before we do any cutting and welding, I want to get this frame, you know, somewhat level. This tire's flat and it won't stay up, maybe 10 or 15 minutes. So we're gonna level it with this here jack. Close enough, you know, it ain't gonna be perfect. I'll measure the frame or somewhere on both sides. We'll get it close enough. All right, let me measure. Where's my measuring stick? From here to here, 18 and a quarter, 19. Got to go up 3/4 of 1 inch. That ain't bad eyeballing it. Oh no. Let's try that right there. 18 and 3/4, 19 and a quarter. So we're raising both sides a little bit. Maybe we'll get there eventually. 19 and about 19. And this one here is 19 and a half. Well, it keeps raising both sides, but you know what? I ain't worried about a 1/2 inch. Let's get back here and get the back end jacked up, get them tires off. Just out of curiosity, let's see how level we are. To that bolt, center of that bolt is 23 and 3/8. Well, I got all the hair, man. We got 23 and 3/8. Oh yeah, fellers. Dead on, I mean. I got her clamped in place. That's a pretty good sized step notch. Let's see what it actually ended up being. I was shooting for a 10. It's 10 and a half. Yeah, that's about what I wanted. Okay, but here is the deal. Right here is an indentation in the frame. That's where the shock used to be. And, well, that's not going to cut it because, you know, well, I can stick my finger through here. So I think what I'm going to do to remedy this, we'll just cut her right through here, weld it up. I think it'll be just fine and dandly. Let me mark this, get it cut, and then, actually, I'm going to mark right now where this is because that's where I want to go back. Then we'll grind our stuff and at least tack this in place. I think we'll go from this corner to about right there. We'll connect those dots. Actually, let me go back just a wee bit, about right there. And there, we'll connect the dots, cut that off. And I'm gonna mark where this goes so I'll know where to grind to get us some good clean metal so we'll have something good to weld to. All right. All right, let me do some measuring. 15 inches from here to here. Well, that's pretty close. It's within a quarter. Let me knock her back. Oh yeah, it's pretty much 15 dead on. Now what about this way? It wouldn't hurt if it went up some. Instead of trying to weld on this corner down here, if you bring it up a little bit, get it on flat metal, it'll weld a lot better. Now where'd my tape go? Here it is. Let's see if we're even right here. We was at 5 7/8. That's real close. Oh yeah, fellas, I think we're good enough. Yep. Let me drag a welder over here and we'll tack this up. And then we'll try to make us the inside part. Let us do the tacky tack. Ain't got no gas. Turn the gas on. Well, there's a one side of one side. Now I got to go cut this exact same thing minus, we don't have to do that on the inside. It'll go hither. Then we'll have to make a piece here, piece here, piece here, piece here, piece here, piece here. Well, I got the inside piece cut, but our, what is this called? Brake hose bracketry. It's right in the way. So I'm gonna cut these rivets out and get that out of the way. Let me cut the rest of them off and get them knocked out of the way. Huh. Well, let me work on that because I want them gone. Maybe I can hit it from the bottom side and that'll... Let me get a chisel. Let's see. Watch your eyes. It may come flying at you. There's one. There's one more. I just spent a few minutes grinding everything underneath and in here. Wherever I think I might need to weld. Now what I've got to do is get this held up, get it square with this other one, get it tacked in place. And I need an extra set of hands. But here's the next issue. This side right in here dips in. This side here goes out. This one over here doesn't look like that. Well, it might be a little bit. So I got to figure out what I'm going to do here. I cut this a little long too, because this curves, and I wanted to cut it to make it match. But that's minor compared to what this is doing here now. I will tell you this. This will probably be my first and last step notch that you piece together. From this day forward, probably gonna build it out of square tubing. This is 3-inch. What I should have done was got some 3x3 square tubing. All you do is, you build your step notch, then you cut out here, you put it in here, weld it up, cut this out, and you're done. Yeah, this will probably be the last one of these types I do. Get her about right there. No, wait a minute. Get back up there where you go. Approximately right there. Chompa! Now, let me work with this a minute because I'm not real sure what I'm going to do about this. What I may do is just stay fooey on it, bring this over, tack it, knock that in, and then that'll just have to bow out. I think that's what I'm going to do. Yep. Well, I've pondered, and that's about the only thing I know to do. What I just told you is go ahead, and once I get these square, pull this in, tack. Same thing over here. This I may have to bend out a little, and then this will bend it in. Yep. But let's get her square first. Then you go in here. That ain't bad, but up here I need to come back. About right there. Not bad. That's not bad. I think I'm gonna tack it right there. Well, it's a start. That's about all I can tell you. Let's get the tape measure and see how not straight parallel these are. We got down at the bottom about 3 3/4, 3 1/2. That ain't too bad. Then you got 3 3/4, 3. Well, that's not good. No, what I'll do is, well, I don't really know what we're going to do. Up here, 3 3/8, 3. I'm gonna have to spread these out a little bit some kind of way, because, well, I don't know, but like I said, I believe this will be my first and last step notch doing it this way. Yep. Anyways, let me get this figured out, and then I'll go to cutting some pieces around here. I got the pieces cut for the outside. We can't do these till we cut this off, because this piece, it's got to go all the way down here. So what we can do right now, though, is at least tack these in. May go ahead and weld them in. Let's do it. Yep. Well, let this welding weld. I gotta get over here and weld this little son of a gun. Oh, yeah. Well, there's one almost done, not quite. We still got to cut this center section out, and then 1, 2, 3 plates, weld them up. I'm gonna wait and do that, but yeah, it don't look too bad. No, for a feller that can't see, that's some decent welding. Yep, I even welded on the inside here. That was completely blind, could not see the weld. They look decent. I even tried to weld on the inside here. I don't know what they look like because I can't see them at all. We still gotta trim that bottom a little bit there. Maybe, I don't know. I may leave it. We'll wait and see. Anyway, like I said, I'm gonna wait on cutting this middle section out. I want to get that one where this one is, then we'll cut them out. You've done seen this once. I'm not gonna show it over there. There's no way I will get that done today. So most likely I will see y'all tomorrow, and we'll cut that middle section out. Well, I've run into an extra problem over here. I guess I knew about it, just didn't think about it. Remember how rusty this frame is over here on the bottom? Well, I need something good to weld this piece to on the bottom. So here's what I decided to do. I made this piece right here, sort of traced along the outside of it there. It's gonna go about right there. And of course, I got these holes to plug weld it because, look at this edge. Ain't a whole lot to weld to. Anyway, let me get that clamped in place. Get it welded to about right here. And then we got to heat this up and bend it. Well, I may not have to heat it. Well, we got to bend it. So let me get to welding. Oh, yeah. We almost got it right there. One more clamp now. I think we'll have it. Shortly. Yeah. There we go. Yeah, that's good enough. I'm not going to weld the end because this is going to get cut off. But I do need to do these plug welds and this inside weld. Y'all probably can't hear me because the microphone's way over there. There it is. There's my little frame patch panel. I don't know what happened here, but what we'll do is just cut that old frame off and then bend the vertical piece over to it like we did on the other side. But yeah, I think it'll work pretty good. I got some penetration out here. You can see that. So I believe it'll be all right. The main reason I did it was to give this vertical piece somewhere to weld to. The frame is about the same in this area here. So might do the same thing there. I ain't decided yet. Probably will, but not right now. But anyways, let me continue on with this side here. And then there were two. Oh yeah. I got smart on this one. I welded the insides of this before I put this boxing around the outside. It was mucho easiero, sure was. I got her marked. That's where we're fixing to cut it. And of course, we're gonna follow this line right here. Ain't nothing to it but to do it. Let us cut it. I get my fat self over in here. Oh yeah! I need to falling out. Well, there you go, fellas. Ta-da! Well, there you have it, fellas. We got both of them cut out. I've been busy for the last couple hours. I got pieces cut for the inside. They're tacked in over there. I got two of these done, fixing to tack them in, and then measure and cut for the top one. I just want to give y'all a look-see. Let me turn the light on where you can see. I just want to give y'all a look-see what she looks like before we box it in. Oh, yeah. Pretty doggone neat. Here we go. We go here with me. I gotta get down here some kind of way. Oh yeah. Oh yeah, that's gonna be good on my old knees. Well. Oh yeah. Ha ha. Oh yeah! Yeehaw! Yeehaw! Well, there you have it, fellas. We now have step notches on the old rusty piece of garbage lockjaw. That was a tremendous amount of welding. That was about 30 minutes of welding just, you know, on the underside. I don't count what we already did. Lots of welding, yep. I believe she's pretty sturdy, though. Be all right. Something going on with my welder, though. We see all them little dingleberries there. It's something going on with the gas, or I don't know. I run out of wire earlier today. I think that was not Harbor Freight, but Tractor Supply wire. Well, I had a spool that I bought off Amazon, I think when I was working on the trailer. There may be something wrong with that wire. Next time I go to Tractor Supply, might get another roll of their wire. But TNT ways, we got her welded up, looks pretty good. Pretty pleased with it. I tell you what, let me find the tape measure. Let's measure in between them, see how far off they are. What do we have in the front? We have approximately 27 and we'll say 1/8. Now what about The back side, oh, we're off a little bit. That's 26 and 5/8. So that's, what is it, 3/8 and 4/8, half inch? Ain't that what this was? Yeah, 27/8. Ain't too bad. Not for, backyard butchery stuff. Yeah, I think it will be just fine and dandly. These two little step notches, they were a tremendous amount of work. It's not really hard work, but just very time consuming. Lots of pieces to cut, fit. Yep. Like I said, I don't think I will do this again unless I acquire a CNC plasma cutter. Then yeah, we might do it this way. Did save a bunch of money though. To buy these, $250. Well, that whole piece of metal was less than that, and I used, maybe a third of it. Yep, I saved some money. Anyways, sun just went down about 30 minutes ago. It's time to go in the house. Tomorrow, we'll start on the rest of the suspension. Here's what's on the agenda for today, if I can continue breathing. Let me just say, springtime, allergies, terrible, terrible asthma. Yep, not a good combination. Anyways, here's what we're going to do right now. You got to get the wheels back on here, undo the rear end from the leaf springs, roll a little fella out of the way. Then we got to get our leaf springs, mounts and whatnot gone. Got to be gone. I'm going to use the plasma cutter to cut the rivets out. Knock these loose, knock the rivets out. They'll be gone. I got my fiberglass blanket here so we don't blow up. I would prefer the end of the day without blowing up. Anyway, let's get the wheels on, get this out of the way. Well, there's one side. Let's get the other one. All right. Well, if that ain't something to tell the captain. I completely forgot that the springs on this thing, the springs were already on the truck, but it just didn't have a rear end. And of course, it was sitting down in the dirt. Well, it rotted and rusted the springs real bad. I remember that now. They're broke in two, some of them. And, well, they just don't want to stay together. It was a fight to get the rear end in and get all this together. Yeah. Go watch that video after you watch this one. Anyway, let me get these leaf springs out of the way, and we'll get this rear end out of here. These will go in the garbage. Ow! Ow! It pinched my finger. Hey, stop! Hey, stop! Oh, yeah. Well, that ain't working. Let's drive it over there then. How about that? Approximately. Come on, man. Get over there. About right there. Well, let us do the cutty cuts. Woo! Son of a gun. I smell things burning. Woo! Well, I can't even see it, so I'll have to climb over in there, I guess. Oh yeah! Here we go! Here we go! Here we go! Here we go! Oh yeah! Oh yeah! Oh yeah! Oh yeah! Yeah! Whew, that's rough on a fat boy. Let's see if we can get these separated. After this is 75, 85, 95, 05, 15, 25, 51 years. 2 years younger than me. All right, this side is a loose. Ow! Oh, wait a minute, there it goes, there it goes. You'd like to got my foot. Sure enough. All right, let's work on the back side. Wait a minute, wait a minute, wait a minute. We gotta knock that bottom bracket off of there too. I didn't know it was there. Let me do some more cutting. Will it come off now? Well, there's a one gone. What I got to do now, see how these rivets are sticking out? You can grind them off, but it'd take a lot longer than if I just come in here with the plasma cutter, cut them off, knock them out. Yeah, do that there, do that here. I got to grind this area because we got to weld the plate there. Let's do that, and then I'll get the other side. Whoop a devil out of it. There's one. There's one more. There's one more again. One more for the last time. I got both these spring packs gone and it's ready to start building. I got her dropped down quite a bit too. You can see the axle where it's at in relation to the frame. Still got to go down probably 6 to 8 inches to lay this on the ground. It may not do it, I don't know, but we're all going to try. But here's the deal. I got lots of geometry and stuff to work out here. I need this at ride height. I need the whole truck at ride height. So that means we got to come up here and put our airbags in here and get this where it's going to go. So that's what I'm going to do the rest of the evening. Then we can get back here and finish this right here. Let us get us busiest. I ain't got that stuck. Oh, the steering wheel's locked. I don't remember that rotor being that bad. That's pretty doggone bad. We may have to get a rotor over here. Yep. Well, we need calipers for sure, so let me get this little fella loose too and get it out of the way. Get the tie rod end loose next. Holy crap-a-tooey. They should be real fun to get a loose. Yep. Real fun. Yeah. The Kotri pin does not want to move. Well, it broke. So that's good. Sometimes you can break the cotter pin off. This is really rusty. And it'll go on and get the nut off. But I don't know what's going to happen this time. Whew, let me have a piece of pipe. Ooh, there we go. Oh, look at here. Oh, yeah. Now, let me whoop on it, see if it'll break free from the ball joint. I've got to get a new hammer. All right, that's it. I'm done with you, buddy, until I fix you. Well, that little fella ain't coming loose. May have to put some heat on it. Let's work on this top one real quick. Yee-ho! Well, that was pretty easy. Oh, yeah. Yeah, it's free. Oh, wait a minute, you big dummy. I got weight on this. It'll never break free like that, so let me move my jack some kind of way. I don't know how I'm gonna do this. Let me get this off the jack. I'll be back in a minute. All right, I'm back. I remedied the situation. The weight is on the middle of the cross member now. Let's whoop on this, see if it'll come loose now. Yep, there she went. 3 licks. Now I got to get a jack here, get this nut loose, let that A-arm down, get the spring out. Now, put that little fella about right there. All right. Let her down slowly. Y'all watch out because that spring might come flying out. Well, what happened? How much tension is left on that spring? Oh, it's a little bit, yep. I gotta move the jack out of the way. Y'all watch out. Watch out, man, watch out! I think all danger has passed. Yeah. Oh, maybe it ain't. Woo-hoo-hoo. Scared me after death, fellas. It really did. All right, I need to get this here out of the way. I don't think I told y'all, but we are using drop spindles and bags. The drop spindles, I think, are a 3-inch drop. They're a 1 ton. I'll explain why here in a minute, but they are a 1 ton spindle. Come on, man. All right, get out of here, sir. Oh, yeah. That's still got some tension on it. I'm a little scared. Yep, it did this on, was it Jolly Green? My arm's hitting the jack because the truck scooted over that way a little too far. So I'm gonna have to wrestle it out like I did. I think I cut it out, if I ain't mistaken. Let me see if I can get a pry bar on it first. I ain't gonna wrestle it. Nope, I don't need them. If I can get this fella out, I'm gonna go get my plasma cutter. I shall return. Ta-da! Well, this is how it goes together in case you have forgotten since Jolly Green Giant. This bottom cup will go here where the spring's set. Your airbag will bolt here in the middle. You got this plate that goes one way or the other. We'll figure that out. You got to drill holes and bolt it to this. Here's the thing, this ball joint. Well, I mean, it's toast, man. Let me get on the interwebs, see if I can find one. Hopefully that in there comes out easily. Probably not, but that's the plan. I'll be back in a little bit. Well, here's the deal. Nobody in town has a ball joint in stock. C20, C30 take the same one. Anyway, I have to order it. Well, I got to looking at Rock Auto. That's Rock Auto for those who don't know. Let me tell you something. Ball joint at O'Reilly's is $60. A ball joint on Rock Auto, $15. Oh, yeah. Then I got to looking at rotors, brake pads, calipers. We're getting our parts from Rock Auto. It'll take a few days, but that's okay. I'll save a bunch of money. A rotor at Rock Auto, $65. A rotor at O'Reilly's, $160. No, sir. I ain't doing it. Nope. We're going to get all the stuff we need from Rock Auto. What we'll do right now, I'll go ahead and do the airbag stuff. Then I will put that old, well, actually, I got to put the new drop spindle on. We'll put the old rotor and stuff on the new spindle. That way we'll be at ride height. I can continue working on the back whilst I wait on these parts to come in. So let's just get busy on this thing. This plate, like I told y'all before, this is the upper. The bag will mount here. Got these big holes for our air fitting. Well, we got to drill holes and bolt it up here. So I got to line it up with the edges of this cross member best I can, and we're going to clamp a little feller in place. Ooh. All right. All right. Let me get the other 3 after I sharpen it a bit. I'll be right back. I remember having to do this on Jolly Green. These are supposed to be 3/8, 16 standard thread. Well, they're almost that. Bolt won't go in, but if I run a tap in, clean it up, then the bolt will go. Will it or won't it? Ta-da! All right, let's go bolt this on the truck. I want that going like that, so put that like that. Then we'll put our bolts in. Hey now. What I got to do first, give me a air line on here, and then I got to drill a hole in this cross member somewhere back in here. Let me raise it up and drill that hole, and then we can bolt this thing on. I'm gonna make it a little bigger. Let's go 1/2 inch with it. If I can find a grommet to put in there later, we will. Now I'm gonna take a file, hopefully knock any burrs off of it. I almost forgot something. This bag is gonna hit this bump stop, and it's a steering stop too. Set it up there, and I can't even center it on that cup because it's hitting it right there. So what we gotta do, cut that feller off. But I'm not gonna make the same mistake I did on Jolly Green. I cut it off completely, and we ended up not having a steering stop, turn too far, and it hits here. So what I'm gonna do is leave part of it, about like this right here. That should be plenty of room for that to not hit. Let me go to cutting. Let's knock this off so we're not smelling burnt rubber while I'm cutting this out. All right. Now, put that feller down in there. Where's my airbag? Right here. Put him up there, get him centered. Look at the room for activities. Oh yeah. I'll clean this up just a wee bit with the grinder. Remember on Jolly Green, I cut the whole thing off. Ain't no need. Nope, we'll have us a steering stop too. Let me clean this up. You wanna hear something odd? These flap discs, when they get heated up, they have an orange smell to me. Is it just me? Am I crazy? Or do y'all smell the same thing when you're using these and they heat up? It smells just like an orange. It's quite pleasant. All right, let me get this bolted together and get it bolted in here real quick. For my peace of mind, I'm gonna put a little bit of Loctite on this bolt. I'll take them top ones out and put some on it too. Let me run me a piece of line through this here hole. Up through hither, into hither. Hopefully it don't leak or blow out. Come on, man. Oh yeah, we got her started at least. Just like that right there. Then I gotta go get my drop spindle. We're not gonna bolt this in tight. Just bolt it in good enough where we can get a right height. I'll have to take the rotor off the old spindle. Let me go get the new one. Remember me telling you a little while ago that we were using a 1-ton spindles. Well, let me get this little fella down here and I'll explain why. Here's why I'm using 1 ton instead of 3/4 ton. The 1-ton spindle for the square body trucks, a drop spindle that is less than half the price of a drop spindle for a 3/4 ton. And the only difference is the caliper. On a 3/4 ton and a 1-ton single rear wheel, they bolt on, like what I took off. The 1-ton dualies, they clip on. That's what they call them, a clip-on style. And that's the only difference. So I knew I was gonna have to buy calipers anyway, so I thought, well, these are less than half price. We'll buy a 1-ton caliper. There you go. So that's why we're using 1-ton drop spindles. Like I said, we're gonna just snug these for now because I gotta, put a ball joint on. And what else? Oh, I'm gonna order my brake stuff from Rockato tonight. Calipers, pads, possibly a hose. One place says a 3/4 and 1-ton use the same hose. One place says no, they use a different hose. We'll see. Anyway, let me get this here bolted up real quick, and we'll get that, what's that called? Rotor put on here. Wait a minute, I see an issue. I need to cut some more off that bump stop. Wait a minute, what are we hitting now? I don't think I need to even leave it on. We're hitting up here now with this. Huh. This don't even have a place to hit the bump stop. we're hitting up here. Well, if this ain't something to tell the captain, and it's going to hit our, yeah, it's hitting it right now. Well, tell you what I'm going to do. I'm going to get the Sawzall. We'll chop that little fella off here in a minute. If I can get this back loose. Wait a minute, what have I got going on? Hey! Let me hook this fella up here, just, you know, because we can. Well, that ain't gonna work, is it? Huh. Well, what's going on here? Does this go underneath? Well, apparently, on these spindles, your tie rod end goes from the bottom. So, it says R. Let me make sure. I thought I saw an R. Where'd that go? Yeah, right there. R is right. Sitting in the vehicle. Yep. So let me get this loose and get it up in there. There's a battle to get that nut loose. Can I get this feller here to break free next? Oh no. Oh yeah. Where's the Kroylov oil? I may have to hit this with some heat too. Ooh, it turned just a wee bit. Let me work on this a little bit. I'll be back. Oh yeah. There we go. What about that? That's tight enough. Now let me get the rotor off the spindle, get it put on here. And I think what we'll do, I'm probably gonna call it a day after this. Tomorrow I'll do the other side, then we'll put air on it and get it about ride height. I measured before I started this. I know about where I'm with my ride height. We'll finish that up tomorrow and then get on that. I guess I'll see y'all tomorrow. Well, there's old lockjaw aired out. As you can see, we're nowhere near touching. We've got 5 or 6 inches to go here. Let me explain why. We got plenty of room in the back. I'll just go ahead and show you that. We got to go about 6 more inches. Got plenty of room with our step notch there. The front's holding us up. And I knew this. And we're going to remedy some of it if I have enough time at the end of this build. If not, then this have to do for now. Let me explain what I'm talking about. Remember me showing you the cup that sat down in the hole where the spring went? The airbag sat on top of it. Well, it's 2 inches tall sitting down in that pocket. Well, that's 2 inches you can gain from dropping if you could get rid of that cup. Well, you can, but you had to cut a big old hole out in the bottom of the A-arm, build you a new cup, take that old cup away, and then set your airbag on your new cup. You'll drop it a couple inches. There's 2 inches there. But if we do that, we ain't gonna go down just yet because, well, we're hitting, I don't know if y'all can see it, we're hitting our inner fender. Inner fenders are gonna go away regardless. Not right now, but they will before we go on power tour. That's how we're going to gain a couple more inches, and that's about as far as we're going to go aired out. Hopefully, if I do that, then this might be pretty close to ride height, and I'm okay with that. That ain't bad. Here's how the fellers make them actually lay down all the way. You have to do what you call pancaking this cross member. They come in here and take a section out and weld it back together. I ain't doing that. No, sir. I don't care. I really don't. As far as that goes. That's a whole lot of work, which I've got an extra cross member laying out there somewhere, but I ain't worried about that. If I can get a couple more inches aired out, I'll be okay. Next thing I got to do is we got to figure out where my bags are going. We got to do some geometry because, well, I got to do some thinking before I even tell y'all, what I'm trying to figure out. Here's the deal, though. I like to cut my fingers off here a while, and I'm not joking. You see those 3 bandages? Yeah, well, let me walk back up front, and I'll show you what happened. To get the truck up high enough with this bridge jack, I had those 3 2x4s and that 4x4 sitting on top of that jack, and then the cross member was sitting on them. Well, they were hanging off here a little bit, and I went to let this down for some reason. I don't know why. Let me turn the light on where you can see. Well, you see right here, this is your control to go up and down. There's up, there's down. Well, The bolts are broke on this. I broke those like 30 minutes after I got this lift. The S10 hung this and broke these little bolts off. So this has been flopping ever since I owned the lift. Well, I knew those boards were hanging off, and I knew they could catch my finger. So I had this out here, but apparently I didn't have it out far enough. And this bridge jack, for whatever reason, when you get down to about that much left of the travel, it goes real fast. And that's what happened. I had my hand right here, well, be my other hand. I had it right here pushing this down. That sucker failed all at once, and it pinned my fingers right here in between those boards and this. If this would not have been out here, it'd have cut those fingers off. I guarantee it. At least broke them, but it would probably have cut them off. Let me tell you, fellas, that that hurt quite a bit. It sure did. I don't ever want to experience that again. As close as I've ever come to cutting a finger off. Yep. Well, actually 3, but I thought I had broke the middle one. I would show you a picture, but it's nasty. It ripped skin off, and one of them, there was something white I could see. I thought it was bone at first, but I don't think it is. It's just a different layer of meat. Anyway, I don't want to gross y'all out, but they're starting to hurt a little bit. Well, I took some Tylenol, I cleaned them up with peroxide, and the Neosporin, it does pretty good at killing pain on the scrapes. Starting to hurt a little bit again, so I think I'm gonna go on in the house, rest my hand. Tomorrow, we'll get out here and I'll figure out my geometry and all that. Once I get it figured out, well, I'll clue y'all in on it. But tenty ways, I'll see y'all tomorrow. Well, that's approximately ride height right there for old Lockjaw. Oh well, probably gonna go a couple inches lower. We'll just have to see, but it's close. What I'm doing right now is trying to figure out all my geometries back here and lengths of bars and making mounts. Here's the deal though. I told y'all I was going to do a lot of math and geometry and thinking and figure. Nope. I finally used my brain. Have y'all ever gotten, I guess you call it tunnel vision? Your brain says, do it this way, and you can't deviate from that. Well, it happens a lot with my little pea brain. It really does. I had it in my head that we had to use the airbags that I've got. They've only got about a 4.5-inch stroke travel. Well, it finally hit me the other day. Dummy, get online and see if there's one that's got a longer stroke. Well, I did, and they do. I got them coming, so we don't have to do a bunch of geometrical stuff. Let me turn you around and I'll explain it to you. I was trying to figure out how to make a 4.5-inch stroke move this 8 to 10 inches. And it can be done with geometry. I'd have to put the bags on up here, make a mount from the top of here, come on out. It could have been done, but I didn't, well, it was just too much trouble. So, I found those bags. They've got a 10-inch stroke, I believe. We're gonna mount them right here on top of the rear end. The other part will be up here. Problem solved easily. What I'm doing right now, like I said, is, well, I'm making this front mount firstly. And then as you can see, this garbagery here, I don't know, fellers. Some of these spring perches are cast steel and some of them are stamped steel. Well, these were cast, and I thought, I could run around the outside edge, cut the weld with the plasma cutter and knock it off. Oh no, I spent 30 minutes gnawing on it with the plasma cutter. That's what you see there. I don't understand it. And I got to do that over there the same way. Yep. Let me work on this a little bit, clean this up. Let me show you what I've got started as far as mounts also. Here basically, but it's not going to be configured like this. This is the outside part, and then this one we got to cut a square hole out. It'll be sitting approximately right there, and then our we call it 4-link bar will be in between these two. This end will be welded to a plate 5x6 that will then be welded in this area here where the old spring hanger used to go. And then I got to make some of those mounts for back here too. But here's the trick back here. Here's the bottom bag mount. It needs to be sitting basically right there on top of that rear end to give us our full 10-inch stroke, if this is ride height. So what I'm gonna have to do for the 4-link mount, instead of having it directly over the rear end, it's going to have to be brought out and down so that can sit there. we'll worry about that when we get there. Like I said, let me grind on this a little bit, get it smooth, and then we'll get back on this mount here. I got to make one more of these pieces. Then we got to drill holes. I got to cut that hole out, cut this plate. Still got a lot to do, fellas, and I would like to get it done today because we are running out of time for this week's video. Yep. Anyway, let me get busy. I'll be back in a little bit. Well, I got her ground smooth finally. That second go around with the plasma cutter really knocked a bunch of that off. And then I used my flap disc to grind it down smooth. I like a flap disc. They seem to cut a lot quicker than a regular grinding wheel, but they just don't last very long. I know there's a ongoing debate of how to, be able to use the entire flap, because you waste a bunch of these. Anyway, no, I got to chasing a squirrel. What I'm doing now is we're gonna go ahead and get these at least tacked together. I got my square marked cause one of them's gotta be cut out, slid up on here. Let's cut this fella out and we'll cut our 5x6 plate that's gonna weld to the frame. Yeah, that's good enough. Now let me cut a 5x6 plate and we might tack this together. With our TIS, plate will weld to the frame, and of course all this will be welded together. And this little feller here we just cut out will slip in here, and then I'll have to space these two, with my rod in, the ham joint. But before we can do any of that, this feller here will be clamped together. I got to drill a hole here, drill a hole here. I kind of wish I'd have shaped these a little different, but it'll probably be all right. They just look a little goofy. I got to go to 5/8 of an inch. I'll be back when I get there. Last hole. I got her put together, well, 3 of the 4 pieces. Let me get this tacked, and then we'll get this feller here in place and tack it. Well, there you have it, fellers. Our first front mount for our 4-link system. The reason I went with these spacers, that's to give us a little articulation here, but the spacers need to be smaller on the OD because we're still hitting. If I can find some cheaply with a smaller OD, I'll get them. What I might do also, drill a couple of holes out here in the middle, and plug weld them to the frame. Just give it a little more stiffness out here in the middle because there won't be nothing there. The reason for that plate is, to stiffen it up, because this is where all the horsepowers will be hitting, pushing here on the frame. So I'd like to, make this pretty stiff. But anyway, that don't look too bad. My little mounts here, they're sort of goofily shaped, but that's the best I can do right now. Anyway, let's get this over here on the truck. I don't want to tack it yet because I've got to determine, I know where my rear end's going, it's right where it's at. I've even got the pinion angle set like I wanted. So this is going rear. So we'll just clamp it hopefully here, and then we'll work on these mounts. And once we get these mounts tacked on, then we can figure out our bar length, and then we can permanently mount this here. So actually, I guess there ain't no need in putting it over here yet. Let's go ahead and start working on these mounts here. Well, I think I got me a pattern made for the rear end. It's basically the front end with this little notch cut out for the axle tube. She's gonna go about like that right there. I got a dilemma though on my airbag. If I'm just put this right directly on top of the axle, where's my tape? Let me get my tape. If I put that fella right there on top of the axle, the airbag is 12 inches max. Well, we got 13 to the top here, and that's where I wanted to put our upper mount for the airbag. So if I do that, then max ride height will be an inch lower than what we are right now. I'm okay with that because I don't see anything dragging right there. And if we did want to make max ride height higher, we can make us some aluminum spacers to set on top of this, 1 inch, 2 inch, whatever. And that'll get us a higher max ride height. It will hurt us dropping, laying frame, if you will, but let's go with it like this right here for now, and we'll just see what happens. Let me get some thingamabobs cut out to this right here, and got to clean this up a little bit. I got to cut these fellers off here too, and then we'll weld them on and proceed to get us some 4-link bar measurements. Got to trace this out on this here metal. I tell you what, fellers, when we get back from Power Tour, well, sometime this year, I'm gonna see about making a homemade CNC plasma cutter. That way we ain't gotta deal with this no more. Nope. Let me get this cut out. I do best this way, but you can't get all the cuts at that angle. I'm gonna have to move y'all, I think. Get out of the way, man. Now I gotta do some grinding and get that to where it fit that pattern pretty good. There's first, when it looks like a lumpy tater, I gotta refine it a little bit here and here. It don't matter, ain't nobody ever gonna see it, but it matches our pattern pretty doggone close. What I'll do now is put this here, we'll cut another one out, and then I'll clamp them together and grind them together, and they'll be the same. Well, Artez, it is ready to go, and I got it marked where it's gonna go. And guess what? This stupid little shock mount over here is right in the way. So let's cut that off. I'm gonna try to save that. We might can use that, reuse it for the shocks. So let's not burn it up completely. Let us do some cutting, but don't cut too much because we need to reuse that. Oh yeah. Well, I reckon it's about time to tack this little feller in. If I can find my welder. I gotta turn the welder on first, yep. That would help. Let's line this feller up with this line I got drawn and tack him in. I'll get it centered on these two top holes. Approximately right there. Well, I got that tacked in pretty good. I sort of wished I'd used a little bit bigger plate now, but it'll be all right probably. You know what we forgot though? I was going to drill some holes here in the middle. We can still do it. I'll do it here in a little while. Just come in right here. Same thing over there. That way, there's something in the middle holding it too. But what we got to do now, get us a measurement from hither to hither, top and bottom, and then go ahead and cut our, what do you call these bars? What do we have? We have approximately exactly 17 and 7/8. Let me put y'all down, get a good measurement, and we'll go cut them. One measure 17 3/4 The other one, the top one measures 17 5/8. That ain't bad for 1/8 difference top to bottom. So I think we'll just cut them both 17 3/4. How about that? This is 1.25" DOM tubing, by the way. Put a little chamfer on them. Get a little better weld. Now what you do is, you know, this was on the truck a minute ago, the heim joint. Put one right here, put one right here, weld around them. I hate welding round stuff. It's hard to make it pretty, but we'll try to do the best we can. How about that? And don't mess up if you're doing this. Don't mess up and put, you know, these are right and left hand thread. That way you can turn this and they'll both go out or in. Don't mess up and put two rights or two lefts together. You can tell it's left-handed thread. It'll have that little line around it right there. That's how you know it's left-handed. The right hand will not have that. Well, that looks like garbage, but it'll hold. I will probably clean that up with a grinder. It's just hard for me to weld round stuff pretty. Need a TIG welder. I got a TIG welder, but I don't feel like dragging it out. Anyway, let me weld this one up. I'll be right back. They're still a little warm, but let's go ahead and hook them up. Let's scoot this little fella on back a little bit. Come on, man. Right there. Get this one down here. Lined up. Well, why won't this one over here start? Is my question. There we go. I think it started. Let me run this little fella on in. Well, wait a minute. I can't. I got to get this top one started too. You big dummy. It needs to rotate. There we go. There you go. Oh yeah, look at here, fellas. Let me run both these in. Wheelbase on a C20, which is a long bed, is 131.5 inches. The only way I know to measure it by myself is to measure from front of the wheel to the front of the wheel. It's the same thing as measuring center here. What do we have? We're within 1/8 of an inch, fellers. Ain't gonna worry about it right now. Nope, sure ain't. Would you look at it? Would you just look at it? That don't look too bad, fellers. No, sir. Quite proud of this. Now, no, it's not perfect. I think your upper bar should be aimed down just a little. Should be a little shorter. It ain't a drag truck. It'll probably never see a drag strip. They probably won't let me on the drag strip with it, you know, looking like this. Be afraid stuff will fall off. Well, all we're gonna do is cruise down the road, stomp on the gas, burn some tires, and that's about it. Yep, so I think what we got will work just fine and dandy. I'm not welding anything up until I get it all done, bags included. We work a feller up and down and make sure everything's okay. Yep. What I'm fixing to do right now, I'm gonna open the door because it's really smoky in here. Let all the smoke out. I'm gonna go take a break, and I gotta do this side over here. Hopefully when I get that done in, I don't know, 4 or 5 hours, I'll see y'all before the end of the night. I got to hurry up because I'm running out of time with this video. Anyways, I'll see y'all in a while when I get the other side done. Would you look at it? Would you just look at it? Got us some airbags in the mail just a few minutes ago. What is it called? Slam Specialties or Slam Specialist SS. It does say right here, y'all can't read it, but made in the USA. Oh yeah, good old American made stuff right here. They're supposed to squish down to 2 inches. Well, I had to stand on it and stomp on it to get it down, you know, fairly short. Hopefully though, the weight of this vehicle, especially when we get the bed on it, will drop her on down. I've done decided we're gonna put this bottom mount right here on top of the frame. And then we'll air the bag up, I guess. Yeah, let's just do this. We'll put the little feller approximately right there. I'll leave myself a little bit of room for weld under that other weld. And wherever it sits, that's where she sits. Got it bolted to my brackets, and here's the valve that we're going to be using, you know, to raise and lower the vehicle. I got it hooked up here so we can raise this all the way up and then put it over there on the truck and tack it in. So herewith we go. We shall go up. Oh, look at there, fellas. Well, no, it's still going up. Let me get a tape measure. It's supposed to be 12 inches, fully inflated. That's only about 10. That's only about 70, 75. I don't guess it really matters if it's a load on it or not, as long as you don't exceed the max PSIs. But let's see what we got right here. That's only 11. See, my thing over there only goes to 105, I think, fully pumped up. We're showing about 80 here. The little compressor that would be pumping this up, it'll be pumping up to 150. So I think what we might do is, since this is at 11, I'm gonna add 1 more inch, and that's where I'll mark it, and that's where we'll weld it. It's the only thing I know to do, because this is as high as I can get it to go with my air compressor. Anyways, let's put it over there and mark it. I haven't bolted this to the bottom just yet, because it's going to be a pain. I made a stud. It's going to be a pain to get that bolt, that nut on there once this is welded, because you ain't got a lot of room. Anyway, now the reason I'm doing this, 1, so I know where to do this. 2, we need this where it's going to go, and this, you know, where it's going to go, so I know where to weld them. I'm trying to get that to lay flat, and then scooter over about right there, I think. Let me make me a mark, get a measurement about right there, and I think we'll be good. Mark it right here, just like that right there. Let me get it loose from the bag, and I think we'll be okay. I'm gonna leave that sitting right where it's at. Matter of fact, let me tack it right now before it moves. How many of you realize what I have done? Yep, I'm a moron, yeah. The original plan was to put it way up here, and that would drop this height down an inch or so. Well, that's what we're gonna do. I don't know what I was thinking here. So let's just erase all this little fella here. What I gotta do next is get this frame off of these jack stands and onto my bridge jack. That way I can lower this down. I want this assembly together and then mark it where it goes and then weld it, because I don't want it twisted and tilted. Let me get that rigged up and I'll be right back. About right there. Yep, that'll give me enough room to put a weld. If I get this straightened up, well, I can't because I've already welded that, so it'll have to be what it is. How about that? Let me do some measuring real quick before I decide on this. What I measured was where we're at as far as ride height, and then how much room we got to go all the way down. According to my measurement, we got 6 3/4 inches before we're going to be laying our bed on the ground. Well, you can see right here, the bottom of the bed, you know, is in line with this right here, and you can see my hand. That's how much clearance we'll have going down the road at this right here. But here's my dilemma. Number 1, this is not extended all the way. According to their, you know, specs, it should be an inch taller, and it probably will be, you know, with 150 or 200 PSIs. But I don't know that I want to be at ride height with that much pressure, because it may make it too stiff. See what I'm saying? I'm not sure what I'm going to do just yet. What we may do, put me a good inch weld, inch weld, inch weld, inch weld. And then once we get the bed back on and can drive the truck, if you know, if this feels good, not too rough, we'll leave it. If not, then what I will have to do is change this. So we won't weld it fully, we'll just weld it, you know, where it's easy enough to grind it loose. That's the only thing I know to do, because, you know, this is not my forte. It's the only second set of airbags I've ever done, and I've never done a step notch. Anyway, that's my thought, so I think that's what we'll do. I got this weld blanket covering up the bag, you know, so we don't hit it with sparks. I'm gonna put 2 tacks here and that's it. We will remove the bag. Going down. Let's get this little feller aired up. What we're gonna do is go put the other side on. I won't do that, y'all already seen it once. Let me get the other side put on. I'll take the bridge jack away. We'll just get up here and bounce on it and see what it does. There it is, fellers. She's sitting on her airbag. Yep. I got the bridge jack down all the way. Let me sit y'all on the camera stand and we'll let the little fellers down, see how far it goes. Going down. All right, that's pretty much down all the way, but you know, we don't have the bed on it. Let me get my tape measure. I want to see how far down they're squished. It's approximately, oh, that's 4 inches. We got another 1.3 thousandths to go. Let me stand on the back. I'm kind of light, but maybe I got enough weight to me to make her go down a little more. Oh yeah. Going down again. I believe that's all we're gonna get, fellers. Yep. Let me measure it now. We're approximately exactly, that's 3.5. I think they lied to us, fellers. I don't think it's gonna go down. Well, I think what part of it is, this side is squished. This side over here is not, you know, because we're going through that arc I told you about. Right here we're at, oh, the bag is hanging over on the back side over here. That's what's going on. What I probably should have done was get it in the middle of the travel, get it lined up. That way it wouldn't be too bad, too extreme down or up. But it is what it is. Let's measure here. I got to do it over there. And let's see if we're down far enough to make the cab or the bottom of the bed lay down on the ground. 10 3/4. It needs to be at 10. Fellers, I'm good with that. Yep, sure am. She's on down there, fellers. Oh yeah, right here is a good indication because this body line matches the bed. So that's how far off the ground we're going to be, pretty much. You know, we still got a flat tire, so that affects us some, but we're going downhill right now due to the front end being up. We got to do the cup, plus we're hitting our inner fender there. That's going to drop us some. Let's go over here to the other side. Actually, we can't tell nothing there because the rocker and cab corner, all that is gone. So yeah, that don't help us any, but she's pretty low. Yep. Our thing right here ain't got but maybe 2 inches before it hits the ground. I'm just looking everything over and seeing if anything's hitting, keeping us from going down. No, that ain't hitting there. So yeah, that's pretty much as far as it's going to go. I'm okay with it. We ain't got to be just slammed right on the ground, but I wanted it, you know, within a couple inches. I think we have accomplished that goal. Let's go back up with it, going up pretty quickly to what I was calling ride height with these basically fully extended. I'm going to get up here and bounce. Let's just see how rough it feels. I got a feeling we're going to have to redo this, but once we get the bed on it, it's, I don't know, 500-600 pounds. It might do all right, but we'll just see what we got. There's 70 PSIs right there. Let me climb my skinny self up here. Hopefully I don't hurt a knee or fall off and break a hip. Oh me. What do we feel like? Let me get on some solid ground. That's not bad. We might be okay. We'll just have to test it out and see. Tell you what, let me bring it back down. Let's bring it down a couple inches. I'm just gonna eyeball it. That's 45-ish. I think on the Jolly Green Giant, I run about 40 to 50 on the back. Let's see what that does. Oh yeah! Yeah, it's a little softer. We'll just have to play with it and see. If it's okay, then I'll have to fully weld these up. One thing that I'm gonna have to change, because I do not like it, these mounts here, there's just very, very little metal that's gonna be welded to the axle tube. So I'm gonna redesign these where it's sitting back on the axle tube more, where we got more weld. I don't like the looks of that. Nope, I sure don't. I really thought I could get the whole thing completed in 3 or 4 or 5 days. Boy, was I wrong. Yeah, it's time consuming. Like I said, I want a plasma cutter, a CNC plasma cutter, make this a whole lot quicker. We are not done, I know that. We got to make a Panhard rod. I've got to make shock mounts. I got to get shocks. We got to weld everything up. But I think the way it's sitting right now, I think we'll be okay. Yep. Next week, we'll finish the suspension up. I'm not sure what else we're going to do. I would like to get the cups put in the front A-arms. We'll just have to wait and see. But we have made quite a bit of progress. Still got, I don't know, what is it, 6 weeks, 5 weeks, something like that. I think we got a good chance of getting it done. Time will tell. So be looking for it. Oh, yeah. Anyways, good Lord willing, the creek don't rise. See y'all on the next one.